Golden's smooth. I could see him on the scramble drill being one of those top receivers.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, absolutely. Let me ask you this: what do you think Golden's going to have yardage-wise in the first month of the season? Just the first month.
First month?
Because I was listening to, I want to say it was either the PFF or the Athletic podcast. They were rattling off some guys that had, chunks of yardage in their first month, and I was just kind of seeing what you thought maybe for them.
Yeah, so the first 4 games, just a quick little preview here. We've got the Detroit Lions at home. And thank you for the super chat, Randy. Appreciate you so much, buddy. Get the Detroit Lions at home in week 1, then a short turnaround there, Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime against the Washington Commanders. Then you go on the road to Cleveland. They've got a pretty good defense. I know overall their team has been kind of bad, but I want to say their defense is pretty stout. And then you go to Jerry World week 4. So it's a great question, Emilio. I'm gonna go out and say I think Golden will have – I think he's going to be somewhere around between 200 to 250 yards receiving it within the first 4 weeks.
Yeah, I was going to say around 250, maybe like 3 tuds, shown enough on film where people will start to kind of taking notice of who he is. But I think they'll just – I want to say that he's going to get a lot of playing time quick, but we've seen in years past that, if Wicks is all of a sudden stepping up and if Reed does have a little more left in him than we think, then they may not just throw him right into the mix early. You know what I mean? How they kind of seem to let guys come along gradually throughout the year. But I think 200 to 250 is quite reasonable.
Okay.
Tim?
What about you, Tim?
500. Yeah.
5 million yards.
500 yards, 8 tutters.
Because I want to say it was like Malik Neighbors. It was a couple of like really young studs, and their average was right around like 250 to 300 yards in their first month as a rookie. Coming out there, being able to put that on tape immediately, being able to put that on the field immediately, no matter the coverage, no matter what you're seeing. So that's kind of what I was just testing the waters on where y'all thought where he would maybe be at.
Got it. So what was your number again, Emilio? What did you say?
I think he could push 300 yards. I really do. He could have a game and go off. If you get him in one 100-yard game, he's probably on track to break 300. But I would be happy with over 250. We're on track for him being a big boost for this offense.
That's a great point because Matt Golden could have 100+ yards on 2 or 3 catches, the way that
very true.
What we've seen. So that's totally realistic.
I mean, you think about that, guys. If he does come out in the first 4 games and he has over 400 yards, you're talking about a guy that's on pace to. I mean, what would he finish the year with? Let's just say 300 yards, right? If he's got 300 yards the first 4 games, he's on pace for a 1,200-yard season as a rookie. I mean, that would break the rookie record. I think Sterling Sharp has a rookie yards record, I believe, right? I think Jaden Reed broke the rookie reception record. I think. I could be wrong there. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, it's going to be fun, though, man. As you can see the schedule, dude, we're getting close, man. That week 1 slate is going to be absolutely awesome, as you can see. I love how they've broken this down over at Nerding on NFL as well. I mean, listen, we got college football tomorrow, college football Friday, college football Saturday. We got high school football in between as well. And then Sunday, I think Sunday and Monday, we got college football too. And then the very next Thursday, right, Thursday of next week, you've got the Cowboys going into Philly. The Eagles probably without Micah Parsons, whether he's been traded or not, he probably won't play in that game, I would imagine. So then you got the Chiefs at the Chargers on Friday night, and then here comes the Sunday slate, man. It's going to be absolutely awesome. You got Aaron Rodgers going back into Jet Life Stadium to show Aaron Glenn who's boss and why he shouldn't have disrespected him when he came in and took that job. If you guys didn't hear that story, go look it up.
When they made Aaron fly all the way out there just to tell him to kick rocks, yeah, crazy.
Yeah. Hey, listen. There's one thing Aaron does well. It's hold a grudge. So I think he's if they don't go out there and speak the snot out of the Jets, it's not going to be because he didn't want to. I promise you that. He's going to be up for that game.
Yep.
Just looking around some of the other games, that Tampa Bay at Atlanta might be a good one too. I'm trying to think if there's any other.
You got 2 first-round edge players in Atlanta. You got Jalen Walker and you got James Pierce Jr. So let's see what they have up front there. I think that's going to be pretty interesting against Baker. And even
Ravens Bills.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yep.
That's a good slate. I mean, the AI did a good job picking that schedule this year.
I mean, look at that. You're going to have Thursday night, Friday night. You'll get to just relax for the 1 o'clock hour and watch a ton of games. 8 games is what I'm showing there? Yeah, 8 different games in the 1 o'clock hour. And then we get to the 4 o'clock window. Obviously, that's when the Packers are going to play at 4:25. And then look at the Sunday night game. The Sunday night game of the week, Baltimore Ravens at the Buffalo Bills.
Dude, and the Monday night. Yeah.
Monday night, we get to just hope both of these teams fall flat on their ass. The Minnesota Vikings at the Chicago Bears. It's going to be awesome.
The fact that the first NFL game is 8 days away.
Let's go.
Crazy.
Yeah.
The fact that the Vikings got 2 international games back-to-back this year and we got 0, I love it.
There you go.
Oh, did you guys by chance listen to Ryan's pod this morning where he went through how many recent Bears picks they've already cut? Guys that were only 1 or 2 years late. Same with the Vikings. They've just been throwing draft capital down the drain, and I hate to see it.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
All right, there you go. Let's talk a little Micah Parsons. So I heard something earlier today. They had Gabe Neitzel on in place of Tauscher today, and he said live on the air that he would trade 3 first-round picks and Rashawn Gary for Micah Parsons.
Golly.
And I said, Lord have mercy if I lost my mind. So I put a poll question out there on Twitter. Now, notice I didn't include Gary, so I know it would be no with Gary, but I thought 3 first-rounders is too rich for me. So I left Gary off this. We know if it's 3 first-rounders and Gary, this would have been tilted way in the opposite direction, right? Here was the poll question I put up. Packer fans, would you trade 3 first-round picks for Micah Parsons? 53% said yes.
What?
On Twitter out of 2,120 votes.
It's a good sample size.
Yeah, and I did the same vote in here on our YouTube channel. We've got 114 votes. Gotta love our viewers. 71% said no in here. Absolutely not. So obviously I would have voted no as well. I think is there anyone here that would have voted yes to that? I don't think there is. Is there or no?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, we live in the discount clearance aisle, Clay. I wouldn't see that being the take.
So I had this one dude that I've never talked to before on X.
I saw that. That was great.
Who?
Right? Yeah, probably Omer, one of his 75 burners. But
don't worry, nobody's listening anyway.
I simply said, the point I'm making is these picks turn into players. So if you're saying you would trade 3 first-round picks, and you're saying you would trade Matthew Golden, right? That was our most recent first-round pick, right? You would trade Lucas Van Ness. Let's say Matthew Golden, Jordan Morgan, Lucas Van Ness, and Rashawn Gary for Micah Parsons. Who is doing that trade? Now, immediately people were like, no way, I wouldn't trade Matthew Golden. That was a first-round pick. It's a perfect example. So immediately this dude shifted the conversation. No, but I would trade Eric Stokes, Darnell Savage. He picked all the worst first-round pick. Right? Bob, that ain't how it works.
From not back-to-back years, yeah.
Yeah, it is. And I said, okay, cool. They said, well, you can't count Golden because we don't even know what we have there yet, as if that adds value to him. I'm like, what? So with that being said, I said, well, okay, let's just go random too. Okay, how about Jordan Love? Jordan Love, Rashawn Gary, and Lucas Van Ness. Would you do that? That's crazy, right? Like,
how
seriously.
dare you?
Unbelievable. So I don't understand that whole mindset. As Clint, the armchair quarterback, gave us 20 spot. Thank you for the dono there. And he says, I have a Parsons headache. Now we know Tim, that's his burner.
That is not my burner. Stop
it. Get you your money back.
Stop it.
He was the best guy around.
I thought that was real interesting. Now, listen, there was more information coming in. Listen, Goody spoke earlier. We're gonna hear what he had to say about the whole situation. But this was interesting that the Packers chose to do a little trolling themselves. Made me feel a lot better about my tweet last night. The signing you've all been waiting for. And it was Matt Orzik, obviously, getting the 3-year extension. So, I love the fact that they're having a little bit of fun with it. But Matt Schneidman was on with Pat McAfee earlier today. Tim, if you'll get me some kind of elongated screenshot, give me that Lions kicker. That's what I need in my life.
Oh, yeah.
That's dandy right there.
Dang.
There
Let's
you
go.
That way Jacob can feel seductive right now. Okay, so this was Matt Schneidman on with Pat McAfee, okay? Just talking about it. This is about 1:55 long. Here's what Schneidman had to say about the whole situation.
We just talked to Jane about Micah.
Maybe an F-bomb. Don't know if there is. If so, get the kids out of the room just in case.
Whoops. Ty came on the show earlier. Send him 3 ones. Give him $45 million a year.
So Ty Schmidt, Packer fan, said 3 ones, $45 million a year. He would do that deal. Of course, keep in mind, this is the guy that went on a cussing rampage when they drafted Jordan Love. Now all of a sudden he loves him. But that's a story for another day.
Let's get Micah to Green Bay, Wisconsin. How is that conversation there? Is it a reality? Like, what are the thoughts on that becoming a thing for the people that actually know what's going on over there, like yourself?
Yeah, I think right now, to my knowledge, Jerry's not even listening to trade offers, so I'm not sure that an actual trade offer can be made unless he picks up the phone. So the Packers may have, an outline of what they would offer, but if Jerry Jones isn't listening to legitimate trade offers, then I'm not sure that one is technically on the table. It's semantics, but if he does entertain it, from what I've heard, the Packers will be interested and will be in the mix, which, look, it's information, but it's not a surprise. If you think back to 2018, and Ty knows this, the Packers aren't, normally in the mix on these big name trades, and you don't really always see them get in the mix around the trade deadline. But the Packers finished second place to the Bears for Khalil Mack in 2018, and they were barely outbid. Brian Gutekunst.
So somebody brought this up earlier. I want to mention this about the Khalil Mack. You can drop it down for just a second if you want, Tim. The Khalil Mack trade, that worked out for the Bears. They ended up winning the division.
Yeah.
Okay. What happened after that? We're going to just not mention what happened after all those picks were gone, right? They went right back into the dark ages, if you'll remember, right?
You guys remember that deal Dallas had with Herschel Walker?
Oh, yeah, way back in the day, yeah.
And who benefited the most from that deal? The Vikings or the Cowboys, right?
Exactly. And listen, there's all kinds of different examples of these type of trades. I just wanted to mention that people use that like it's an art, like it's proven their point. I'm like, you don't understand. That's actually going completely against the argument that you should do this. That did not work out for the Bears. Like, they got Khalil Mack. Yes, they won a division, but did it get them a championship like everybody's talking about, right? And we'll get what Goody said here in a minute about the whole, one player away comment here shortly. But all right, Tim, give me that screen grab again. We'll finish this out.
It's a couple times in his career, that being, the biggest instance, has been willing to offer a first-round pick for a veteran player. In some instances, it just hasn't panned out, and other teams have outbid them. So this is kind of an eerily similar situation where it's right before the season, as the Khalil Mack trade was. It's for a edge rusher in the prime of his career, and it would really take the Packers to the next level. What would it take if this were to become a reality? It would be multiple first-round picks at least, and I think a player like a wide receiver. I'm not sure they would have to give up any edge rushers, but it might be a player like a Romeo Doubs or a Dontavian Wicks. Plus,
okay, so first of all, very vague. Multiple first-round picks, didn't say how many, just multiple, okay? I mean, what does multiple mean? Would that mean at least 2, more than 2? How would y'all take that? What's the actual definition of multiple?
2 or more, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's saying, let's pretend like he's saying 2 first-round picks. 2 first-round picks and Romeo Doubs, plus something else he said to get Micah Parsons. Would you guys do that? Just a quick yes or no?
No.
No?
Hell no.
There you go. Okay. Just making sure. So again, that's what he said there about that. Now, Goody was asked, you can go ahead and pull it down there, Tim. We might want to put a Goody. Give me the yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Gangster Goot. Let's go.
Goot.
Borrow the do-rag from Jacob. Love it.
Emilio, get your picture ready. I'm just waiting for it to load up in here. So Goody was asked earlier today in his presser. This is about 2 minutes long. All right. Hopefully the audio is up loud enough. I can't do anything. I can't make it any louder than it is, gang. So I apologize for that. But he was asked in a roundabout way about trading for a premier player. So they didn't ask about Micah Parsons because he won't answer on Micah Parsons because he's not allowed to openly talk about players on other teams at pressers. Okay. But listen to his answer here, and I love how he quoted Ted Thompson too. Let's see what everybody thinks about this.
You got to, first of all, it's your team and how certainly every decision affects your football team. There's so many different factors in it. Who the player is, medical, certainly, cap wise. But yeah, I think, you have to look at everything. Any opportunity to help your football team, you have to look at and discuss as a group. And we do that all the time. I mean, we do, it's almost daily, you know what I mean? I think what someone might consider a bold move, someone else might not, you know what I mean? We signed a practice squad guy today. I might consider that a bold move, you know what I mean? Somebody else might not. So, I think every opportunity that's out there to help your football team, we've always taken a look at, how to see how it affects us right now, how does it affect us in the future, and make the best decision we can. Sometimes we've been right, sometimes we've been wrong. Sometimes we've taken risks that really worked out for us. Sometimes it didn't. Sometimes we didn't take risks and we look back and we wish we would have. And sometimes, as Ted used to say, God helps those that can't help themselves a little bit sometimes. So sometimes the best deals you make are the ones you don't.
Sometimes the best deals you make are the ones you don't.
I love it.
And so you just I think you weigh everything, and you weigh what is in the moment and what is in the future as well.
Right, I'll ask it a little more directly. Would you, if a player like Micah Parsons were available and the price would be as high as that, was that something you would even entertain?
Yeah, first of all, I can't talk about any players on any other teams, but I think, again, every opportunity that's out there that if we think it could help the Packers, we're going to take a long look at. And, again, if that opportunity makes sense to us, then we'll do it. And if it doesn't, we won't.
I remember asking you back at the owners meeting about the pass rush after free agency. You said you expect a lot of internal improvement there. You have a full camp now to evaluate. How do you feel about the pass rush entering week one?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I know that you guys have been around for camp and in the preseason games. They've done a really nice job, So, I really like the way they've been working. I think DeMarcus Covington has done an excellent job with the front and then half the way he ties in the backers and everything else with that stuff. I really like the way we're trending. I think I've seen individual improvement from a number of guys, but I think most importantly, I've seen just kind of the coordination between the entire group and what we've been able to do so far. Again, it's pretty early, and the real bullets will start flying here pretty quick. But I like our ability and what we have in front of us.
All right, so there you go. That's what Goody had to say about all that. What's your take on
shout out to DC, Coach DeMarcus Covington. I love that he gave him his flowers there because we've been talking about that for the better part of the last month, what he's doing with that group. So appreciate that for sure.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Jacob.
Sorry, yeah. I don't remember if it was in that exact clip or if it was somewhere down the line. I can't remember who asked him, but they said, being that you were very excited about the edge rotation coming into last year, and then he said, I think they said something about they were up and down, and Goody kind of cut him off, and he went, no, they were dominant at times, and they just weren't dominant consistently
all the time.
And I was like, oh, that's a good line too, because it kind of it snapped back at the reporter, not that it was reporter fault, but it's kind of that whole. I hate using the term casual fan, but that was kind of the casual fan's take was we didn't have a pass rush last year. Yeah, we did. We had a damn good one at times. It just wasn't sustainable and consistent enough so that it was really felt by the people that watch ESPN or whatever. So it, to me, shows one that I think he kind of took not an offense to that specific guy, but maybe to the fact that he didn't put together a good team. You know what I mean? He did, and he still has a good team. So
no, and what we talked about all year last year, Emilio, was like the games where you seen the pass rush kind of slack off a little bit. You could you could see it if you knew where to look. Like they're really keying in on stopping the run. Like Tennessee, we were there in-house, me and you, right? We were in the stands. We were a little south, not going to lie, but we were in the stands. And I remember I said this time and time again. I looked at Mandy. I think Emilio was getting another drink. But I looked at Mandy and I said, one more score. Because we were up by 10 or 14 points. And I said, one more score, and we could turn the dogs loose. And sure enough, we scored one more time. And what happened? Here come the sacks because they just started pinning their ears back and going, right?
Yeah.
So,
my point was
BTA. Know what I'm saying?
The belt's coming out. To adding to Jacob's point about the D-line and Tim's point about Covington is how often did Covington in New England have elite or superstar D linemen that he got to function extremely well in a defense, and they had solid defenses for years without needing a superstar or somebody with a big name, crazy, something like that. So maybe all it does is take a coach and the right approach, different game plan, all that, to make this happen. And on top of that, you bring in Micah. How often is he going to stay in structure of the rush? Like, I mean, just even on, I know they couldn't see it, but a couple of those clips, yeah, he's rushing upfield, and then I'm just going to swoop underneath. I'm going to kick out. I mean, what if you had contain on that, but you wanted the sack? So, I mean, it's just those little things. That's how much is he going to buy into the team plan program?
Yeah. Ed Madden in the chat says Parsons, Garrett, Crosby, Higgins, Metcalf, all these people that everybody wanted, right? A grand total of 0 rings for all those players.
Exactly.
And again, it doesn't mean they're not good players. What it simply means is, well, let's just give me another screen grab, Tim. This right here will go hand in hand with what we just said. Same one with Goody. It's going to be Goody again. He says you're never one player away, right? So let's hear what he had to say here.
A bunch of times that you're never a player away, like during past trade deadlines. But to Rob's question, what if that player is like a Hall of Fame trajectory sort of guy? Can that be you're a player away, and that guy could be just not a run-of-the-mill guy? He's like
I'd love about 22 of those guys so we can roll out, each and every time.
Which is what we've been saying, right? Like, I want Micah Parsons on the team. That'd be great. Somebody actually responded to me on Twitter and said, so you don't want Micah Parsons? Of course I want Micah Parsons. I don't want him for what y'all are talking about selling a damn farm for. That's crazy. Yeah. We've lost our minds. If you think one player is worth 4 players who are starters on the team, these aren't backups. These are starters. You're talking about giving away possibly our number 1 receiver. You're talking about giving away LVN, who another person, I think it might have been in the Patreon group, and I need to get to those questions here. Probably do that tomorrow. I think it was Chris N said that John Gruden said that LVN finished last year with under a 10% pressure rate. Well, it depends on where you look. Where did he get his information? Again, I get mine from NFL Pro because I can watch the snap and go, that was a pressure, right? A lot of people just press into PFF and go, well, PFF said this. Okay, cool. Which play? Give me a timestamp. They won't do it. You can't do it, right? It's like these phantom statistics that you can't back up with the tape. So, again, let me continue to play this. I just want to point that out. Like, of course you want great players. Nobody's saying that you wouldn't take on Micah Parsons. It's what's it going to cost?
Players make impact. There's no doubt. That's what you win and lose games because players, right? These are the guys that do it. So certainly players make impact. I am not a huge believer that one player, you're never one player away, right? It's just I never believe that. But good players make impacts, and so anytime there's players of that caliber that you can acquire, you're trying to, So, but this is the ultimate team game. I've always believed that, and some of the best teams we've ever seen, didn't have a ton of stars on it, right? So it's really about how those units operate together. So again, you can't win without good players, but they got to work together. It doesn't matter how many good players you have; if they're not working together, it won't matter.
Bingo. Does that sound like that sounds like our concern with trading the farm for Micah Parsons. Yeah. This is my stance. I've been open about this the whole time. I give a first and a third for Micah Parsons. And you know what? If he comes in and he's a turd in the punch bowl, it sucks you lost the first and the third, but at least you didn't lose 3 firsts, right? And here's, how you structure the contract. You may be stuck with it for a few years. It is what it is. To me, that's enough of a gamble. I don't understand the whole, sell the farm. There's a couple comments in here in the chat I want to hit on real quick. Soder. And Reggie was a free agent, cost only money to get him. See, there's people all over X going, this could be the Reggie White. This is the Reggie. No, Reggie White just costed money. You didn't have to trade 3 first-round picks to get Reggie White. And also, Reggie,
we're not; those 2 players are not even.
See, they're
not even in the same realm.
Yeah, this is what Ed Madden says. Reggie was a free agent, big difference, and Parsons isn't half the player Reggie was. There are people, and I'm talking about by the droves, that think Micah Parsons is on Reggie White's level. Mm-hmm. You young whippersnappers did not watch football back then.
They were probably crapping in their diapers when Reggie White was, helping us win a Super Bowl. So
you could put the tape side by side. Watch Micah Parsons run around, fly around, bounce around, get out of his gap, get absolutely owned in the run game, and then go watch Reggie White. I'll never forget the conversation we had with Mike Wall on here. Mike Wall had to go up against Reggie White his rookie year. And I said, what's one player, one experience, I said, from camp, and he gave me a couple of stories. I said, so you played against Reggie? And he went, yeah, we practiced against Reggie. I went, what was that like? He said, Reggie was different. He said, when you hit Reggie, it was like, whoa, that's not normal. Like it was just like hitting a wall, like a brick wall. Like it's just that's not Micah Parsons, guys. It's not. Great player. Don't get me wrong. Could be a Hall of Famer, right? That's the other thing that people are parroting right now. And I don't want to mention names. I don't want to start a damn war here over football. But a guy earlier today said he only played in 13 games and he had 12 and a half sacks. Gary played in way more games and only had, 7.5 sacks. Look at the snaps, knucklehead. It doesn't matter how many games you played in. What's the snap count comparison? Gary can't control the fact that Matt LaFleur is a firm believer in rotating that defensive line in and out, right? So if you get Micah Parsons and you do that rotation, is that money well spent? $45 million a year for him to play 65% of the snaps. 65, there it is. 65% of the snaps or whatever it may be. That's the stuff. It's just that they don't. Again, man, it's just. I hate using the term casual too, Jacob, but I don't care to use it when people are talking down to other fans. Like, this is why the Packers don't win. Mark Chmura is on my crap list, bro. Like, how are you a former NFL player and you're buying into all this garbage? It's unbelievable. It's got to be scripted. It's got to be. You know what I mean? Like, there's got to be. Let's say something to get attention, because it's absolutely mind-boggling. So. Yeah,
it is. And people are getting a little crazy over it. Like, I just had to ban someone. I don't like doing that. You guys know that. Whoever that Roger Rance is, Omar, getting put on timeout and then comes back in and says he's going to threaten legal because of freedom of speech. Come on, man. Just chill out. I was just going to highlight.
I missed that. What happened now?
It's already done. I'll talk to you.
I know it ain't done. I need to know this story. I need good humor.
He was just absolutely spamming the chat with literally the same exact 3 or 4 quotes over and over and over again. And then once I put him in a timeout, so he's able to come back in, he said basically like, "Don't ever put me in timeout. I'm going to talk to a lawyer about freedom of speech or whatever, something like that." It was just something stupid.
Doesn't he live in Europe? Isn't he like?
Yeah. Well, I was going to highlight one thing, just kind of in that same vein, and again, just. I don't ever want this to get personal with anything, but Mr. Zach Metzenbauer, he came in earlier in the chat and he's like, "Haven't seen y'all live in a long time. Really glad to be back. Love it." And I appreciate that. He said 1 Super Bowl in the next 2 years. I'll take 5 years of losing. I could not disagree with that sentiment more at all. I just wanted to get you guys' position on that because I've heard Ryan talk about that, how other fan bases are so excited to go all in, and then they're fine with like 5 to 10 years of losing because of whatever that one out of 32 teams is going to have success with that strategy, and then they completely usually fall apart. It's very rare that there's that business model ends up being something that's productive. But
it's like taking that loan on that new truck that you just got to have. You want it, you can't afford it. Feels real good for a while, and then a repo man shows up and tows it right off your driveway.
I got to take it. It's on the list, Tim.
Yep.
Clint, the armchair quarterback, says, "I'll call Johnny Cochran." So there you go. Johnny ain't with us. Johnny didn't make the team, in case you were wondering, right? He's no longer with us. But listen, freedom of speech.
Put Bates' comment up there.
Where's Bates at? Put it up there. You see it?
It started. I started, Jacob. It's in the start. Yeah, Roger Rance, stolen valor.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he also randomly dropped that he's the vet, which don't get me wrong, I appreciate that more than anything. But
who's a vet?
Apparently Roger Rance.
Maybe.
Hey, cool, man. That's great. Appreciate your service. What the hell has that got to do with you getting in here spewing nonsense, spamming the chat? Here's the cool thing about YouTube, what I love. Anything. That's the beautiful thing about our country too. Let's go. Somebody give me the national anthem in the background real quick. So when you take the time to create your own YouTube channel and you put in the work and you build an audience and you bust your ass behind the scenes to try to create good content and do all these things, put something together. Here's what's really cool. You can control who gets to see it.
Yep.
Kind of cool.
At any given moment, you have the right to say,
"Sit your butt outside."
That's a beautiful thing, man. And you know what's so cool, Roger Rance? You can go create your own YouTube channel.
You can
or another account or your 15th account.
Another account, which he'll probably do it here in a minute. So, the point is, if we don't like what somebody's saying in the chat, I've got the right to go, "I don't want you watching my channel." That's the way it works. It is. Now, we welcome everyone as long as you're respectful. You can disagree on an opinion. We have people all the time, right? We can agree to disagree and still be friends, still be co-fans together, right? The problem is when you get in here and you spam the chat over and over and over and over, it ain't gonna work. Just ain't gonna work. Sorry, ain't gonna do it. You know. But that cracked me up. Freedom of speech. That is hilarious, dude.
Yeah, must be
Julio,
no.
is that anyway?
I don't know.
So,
I got a lot going on over there. I don't know. So.
Oh, we're gonna give him some.
So, with that being said, and that's it. It's probably best we just ignore those people.
Chuck has the best point. Listen, if you get kicked out of this chat, you are special. Trust me. I have very rarely ever had to do it.
Yeah.
You're an amazing person. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, it's like the bowling alley without the bumpers on it. I mean, you hit a gutter, but it just refreshes you back to the top. It'll still bring the ball back up, but I'm telling you.
Hilarious, man. Judy says, I'll write them a cease and desist letter for a couple grand.
Pay that man his money.
All right. So we covered anything else on Micah Parsons, the situation? Because to me, as we started with, and it always felt like from the beginning, I don't think he's going to end up in Green Bay. Let me ask you guys this as we move on. Goody's comments, do you think, am I missing something? Or to me, it sounded like what Goody's saying is for the right price. Yeah. I have a hard time believing Goody would give up 3 first-round picks for Micah Parsons. Am I the only one?
Nope.
Feeling that way?
I mean, he would be hanging his reputation and the rest of his Packers career on this three pick trade. I mean, if he does that and it doesn't work out and he's a goner in any of those 3 years, you know, what's the next guy going to do? How does he approach it with having no capital, no picks, nothing? Where you got to rebuild all this and that. I mean, it seems like it would just be buying high and selling low kind of thing.
Yeah. Zach Metzenbar in the chat says, I think Goody will give up 3 first-rounders. He said his job is on the line this season. Who in here in the chat thinks that Brian Gutekunst's job is on the line this season? I need to know. Like, I mean, get your all's opinion. Is everybody in the chat, is Goody's job on the line this season? What would it take for Goody to get fired after this season?
3 first-round picks. And Micah getting hurt immediately and out for the season. Yeah, that would be.
Ironically, that's why he would lose his job, giving up 3 first-round picks and then, Micah not panning out. The comment that got me was what he said at the end, like, hey, it doesn't matter if you got 22 great players. If they don't play together, then what did he mean by that? Why did he feel like necessary to say that, right? I don't know, because Micah Parsons was laying on a training table during the preseason game the other day, and the coaches literally had to pull him in. They said that it was Coach Schottenheimer, I think it was, the head coach.
Yeah.
Pulled him in aside and said, listen, I understand you're upset. Can't be doing that crap. Not on my football team. You're not going to be out there laying on a training table pouting. Not going to happen. And by the way,
he followed those quotes though with the comment about DeMarcus Covington and what he's done with the Lions. And then he talked about great teams that, found success and found championships without necessarily a lot of individual star power. They were teams that played as a unit. It's a team game, a team sport. Really respect that.
Yeah. Packers on top said Goot would have to go 0-18 and lose the bye week. Dennis Shook in all caps. He meant this. Would you trade 3 firsts for Myles Garrett?
No.
I wouldn't. Now, here's the thing, too. It's not just 3 firsts. The conversation has been 3 firsts and Rashawn Gary. So you're really talking about 4 firsts is what you're talking about. And the other rumor, which we always laugh about, was 2 firsts, a second, a fifth, and Rashawn Gary for, Myles Garrett or whoever, insert name of player, Isn't it wild, though? We started with Max Crosby, and then we went on to Trey Hendrickson, right? And now we went on to Micah Parsons. And this ain't a shot at Dennis. I love Dennis. Dennis is one of our great listeners. I enjoy his humor, too. Now we're on to Myles Garrett. We keep going down the line of all these pass rushers, right? As if that's what's going to get us over the hump. That's what somebody said. Micah Parsons is the player that gets you over the hump.
No.
Let me ask you guys this. How many wins, if you bring Micah Parsons onto this team, let's say you give up 5 first-round picks, right? And you're just focused on this year. How many wins does Micah Parsons give you? Because the reality is similar snap count between him and Rashawn Gary, and he had 5 more sacks than Rashawn Gary. What we're saying is we're willing to pay $20 extra million against the cap and 3 first-round picks plus Rashawn Gary to have 5 more sacks than a player that we're now going to trade away. You see what I'm saying? Now, if we're just talking 3 first-round picks, to me, what makes sense is get Micah Parsons and pair him with Rashawn Gary. That makes sense. But even then, first and third. If I'm giving up 2 firsts, boys, if it don't work.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Funny how all those names have a common theme, right? They're all on the same damn team that they started on when these conversations started. I'm willing to bet Mike is going to end up in the same boat, probably a Dallas Cowboy.
Myles Garrett disliked the Browns. How much? Wrote a letter at him out. I said bye to the fans and said, wow, I love Cleveland. I'm so happy to be here, be back in town. I got some.
That direct deposit hit the account, and he was like, I'm good.
Here's the other thing with Myles Garrett. The team said, oh, his back's hurting, right? He's, because that's where this is going next. Is
Micah's back is already hurt. Yeah.
They did MRIs and everything. Everything came back clean. So now he's going for a second opinion somewhere else outside of the building, right? As if the Cowboys are lying about his back and it's really hurt and it's not this and that. So just really, really, really strange. Donovan Schilling says, you guys are mistaking me. I never thought Goody was on the hot seat in any way. Matt said it on McAfee. Got you, buddy. Got you.
Is that all stemming from the fact that, Ed Policy basically made it known that, they're not making any moves on Matt's contract or Goody's contract right now? And I think everyone's kind of taken that and run with it. Like, they're on the hot seat now.
This is what's crazy about that. This all started because Ed Policy said he doesn't believe in lame duck coach contracts, right?
Exactly.
This is what he meant by that, guys. There's 2 years left on their deal. So if they've got 2 years left on Matt LaFleur and Goody's deal, right? So what he means with what a lame duck contract is going into the final year of your contract without an extension. What he simply said, that's not a negative thing toward Goody and them.
Exactly.
Right? And somebody had said it earlier today. I'm trying to think of who it was, but I've listened to so many podcasts, but they said there's no precedent in Green Bay for a coach to get an extension while he's got 2 years left on his deal. That doesn't happen.
Well,
I think it was Adam Schefter. He's like, that's common knowledge across the league. It's very rare that a coach has 2 years left on his deal and he gets a new extension. They usually wait till the last year of the deal. And the comment by Ed Policy with the lame duck contract comment, it's actually the opposite of what people are reporting. What he's saying is, I don't want them to go into the last year of their contract and not get a new deal. Right? Because everybody in the organization, they're kind of on shaky ground, and it's this. And, okay, that motivates people. Gotcha. But guess what happens with assistants? If they see a coach going into the last year of their contract, and that coach gave them the job, and they're going, oh, crap, he's on shaky ground, and another team comes and offers them a similar deal, just a slight promotion, they're taking that and leaving, right? There's a lot of instability that happens. So that always cracked me up that people use that as if that was – oh, no, Ed Policy put everybody on notice. It's totally the opposite. What are you
exactly?
Now, I'm not saying that Goody's safe. I'm not saying LaFleur's safe. Anything could happen. If they come out and win 3 games.
The NFL, how safe can you be, right?
Right. If they come out and win 3 games this year, their ass is on the hot seat. I promise you that. But it has nothing to do with what's happened up to this point, in my opinion. And here, another one. I know everybody got tired of me saying this last year, and I'm going to say it again. It was officially announced. The Packers officially have the youngest roster in the league once again.
Yeah.
So there's that. But anyway, Jacob, were you going to say something, man, before I went on my little rant there? I apologize.
No, you basically kind of covered. I just said you as I was going to ask you as like kind of a business owner. It doesn't make sense to just extend needless contracts when you may have like a business plan budgeted out for certain things that you want to do. And it seems like it's just unnecessary, like you said.
Yeah.
Again, he made that comment saying, hey, and here's the other thing too. Adam Schefter pointed, this was on Jen Gabe and Chewy this morning. Adam Schefter said, well, the reason Ed made that comment or hasn't extended them yet is he just stepped into the role. He's probably trying to get a grab on things. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that he doesn't want to extend those guys. Matt LaFleur is one of the winningest coaches, listen to me, in the history of the NFL. And he's done that with the youngest roster in the league for, I think, 3 years running now.
Yep.
And he's done that with the roster that Goody's created. So you can't have a coach that's one of the all-time winning or one of the highest winning percentages in the history of the game. We were saying this when he was 3 years in the league. And they go, oh, well, he hasn't coached long enough. Well, now we're coached long enough, and people now they just they ignore it, right? Well, Goody's created those teams. How can we say they're on the hot seat? That's just – I don't know, man. It's kind of odd for me. So, yeah.
Who was that in the chat that said if Ryan Poles isn't on the hot seat, then Goody's seat is cold as ice?
Goody could take the year off if Ryan Poles ain't on the hot seat. You know what I'm saying?
Did he get extended?
Well, that's too old for this. I like that. Good comment.
Yeah, definitely. So look at Chuck Jaggers with another. This is next Friday, by the way.
Top flight security of the world, Craig.
Friday after next, actually, right? Not just the city,
man.
Not just the city, the world. That's when Money Mike came in. Boy, you guys remember that was my first experience with Cat Williams.
Cat Williams, yeah.
I love Cat.
Yeah.
Money Mike player.
Said, let me check my Palm Pilot. Looks like I ain't doing Such a good movie. Y'all got to go watch all the Fridays, man. They're so good. There's a new one coming out, right? Am I thinking right?
I think that's true.
They got Chris Tucker back.
What?
So, yeah, they're pretty sure Chris Tucker's going to be in this one.
I think it's in production or something right now.
Yeah, there was rumors of that when I was still in high school that was going to happen.
Yeah.
So I'll believe it when we see it. So, all right, boys, we need to get out of here. I've done it again. I'm in trouble.
Yeah, you're in trouble. Let me just mention Sean Dolak made the 53 for the Rams. So go.
Who's Sean Dolak? Now, who is he? Is he a punter? Am I thinking right?
No, he's the linebacker, wasn't he? Yeah.
From UB.
Who?
He's a linebacker.
Oh, don't hit him with the who, Tim.
Yeah. He was a linebacker that played for, what was that team? Let me think here for a second. It was Podunk University.
Yeah, Bobby. Yeah, we got the hard eyes. 202.8 on the board. Come on now.
Southern Louisiana State Mud Dogs. You guys know about the Mud Dogs?
Bro, when we were at the Redneck Brawl, and
there were some Mud Dogs players there.
And Emilio said, "Oh my God, look back here! We got a Bobby Boucher jersey." There was a guy sitting behind us with a Bobby Boucher Mud Bowl jersey.
It was fun.
I kind of want one.
And then he was right next to the dude that got kicked out for throwing a beer.
If he hadn't looked like he hadn't showered in 2 weeks, I would have tried to buy that jersey off of him.
Yeah.
I just had to peel it off of him, I believe. So, Clint the Armchair Quarterback Super Chat. Thank you, buddy. Says kicker talk for Donovan. Happy birthday. There you go. Wait, we got any kicker talk tonight, boys? Anything at all y'all want to add to the kicker talk?
Yeah, McManus is the man. He'll be 97% or better this year, all season. Let's go.
Yeah, you just hold it, Dan, and I'll kick the bloody piss out of it.
That's right.
I think I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the Packers beat the Lions week 1 with a game-winning field goal off of McManus.
I was going to say
63-yarder, just a deep bomb.
And for all you degenerate gamblers, the Packers are 1.5-point favorites right now. Now, keep in mind, like we always say, the home team typically gets 3 points. So that would suggest that the Lions are 1.5-point favorites instead of Green Bay.
Interesting. 3 points. You mean like what a field goal is worth?
Exactly. So yeah, that's very interesting how that lines up, right? So
I would just say I'll make one even more bold prediction is that, and like Amelia was talking about the first month with Golden, I'd say McManus wins us 2 out of those 4 games in the first 4. That's my prediction.
Mm-hmm. Greg Rice says you certainly have the right to ban anyone for anything, but I think the show is more interesting with different opinions. I completely agree, man. There's a lot. Do we disagree on stuff, guys?
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. All the time.
Yeah, differing opinions is different than like spamming the chat.
Spamming chats. Yeah, that's not the same thing.
This is the difference between us having differing opinions and what happened in the chat. You guys tell me your opinion. What do you think the Packers will do this year? Everybody talk at the same time. I'm gonna go ahead and mute everybody's mic. All right. Now y'all talk. Go ahead, talk. Keep talking. Go ahead, talk. See, let me tell you why they're wrong. Okay. That's what you're doing when you're spamming the chat. You're literally going in the chat and going, forget everybody else's comment. Let me just rapid fire. Bang, 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 bang. Right. So yeah, let me unmute everybody now. So anyway, just to prove a point there. But yeah, everybody's opinion is welcome here, man. Hopefully y'all know.
65%. 65%. That's what we
I get to speak a little bit. 65% of the time, Clayton mutes the mic. All right.
There you go. We get this new mic, man. I'm excited about this.
That thing is fire.
Ooh, nice.
Like that.
Yeah, that set me back about 3 months off my marriage. But it's funny how
do
that
that, you're going to get your ass kicked in that.
That's correct. Anything else, boys? Anything at all, man?
Go Pack, go. You want a differing opinion? I don't think we need a McManus field goal in week 1. Boat race their ass at Lambeau. Let's go.
Talking about, man.
Let's do it.
Tim's burner, Cody Newman.
BTA. Know what I'm saying?
34-14 Packers. Lions reeling after 1-3 after 4 weeks.
Let's go.
The interior of their O-line is going to be something to watch. Absolutely.
Josh Jacobs with 35 carries and screaming for more, talking about.
I put the team on my back, dude.
Come on now.
All right, let's get out of here, fellas. I want to give a special thanks to everybody tonight. Josh Martin with the Super Chat, Randy Steen with the Super Chat, Clint the Armchair Quarterback, with the Parsons headache. Appreciate the dono there, buddy. And Clint, the armchair quarterback, again, you guys are way too kind. We really, really appreciate you. And special shout out to everybody in the Patreon group for supporting us over there, patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. Going to be doing a giveaway this weekend, an autographed Lucas Van Ness rookie card. Still waiting to hear back from Travis Stace. All right, still haven't heard from him. He's not a member of the Patreon group, so he must have been gifted a membership on YouTube. So, if you guys aren't familiar with Patreon, you want to support the show, you can just click that join tab here on YouTube as well. So, all right. Anything else? We good?
We're good.
We're good.
All right. Thanks, everybody, so much for tonight. Appreciate y'all. Hit that like, hit subscribe. If you were new here, thank you for making us a part of your evening. Click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live in the future. We will see you tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Central Time for PTA Live. Everybody protect your freedom of speech, okay, even if you're in a YouTube chat. See y'all tomorrow. Take care.
There we go.
We're out. Bye, guys.